innovation, artificial intelligence. These two strategies are the driving force of our future. When these two strategies are mentioned, most people think about the technology industry. However, almost every business is looking for ways to implement them into their plans. Today we'll be discussing how these two strategies will affect Burberry and the fashion industry. In this presentation, we will be covering the following areas with relevant theories and models: artificial intelligence threats to the fashion industry, Burberry's innovation strategy, and Burberry's source of innovation and their interaction with other companies.
Thank you, Keith. My name is Jashar, and now I am going to talk about some possible AI, artificial intelligence threats to the fashion industry as whole and brands like Burberry, which counts as one of the most prestigious English clothing brand and a brand which has a history from the times of First World War. As my team member Keith have already highlighted the facts and figures about the fashion industry, contributions towards the world business sector and their contributions towards the British economy, which actually makes us curious to predict and to work on this sector as our innovation project. As we all know that nowadays technology is maximizing its share more and more, and the role of artificial intelligence in every sector, like whether it's business or social, is highly recommendable but criticizes at the same time. As Guardian claims that Toyota invest $1 billion in the project in Silicon Valley in the United States to develop and to improve more and more in the field of artificial intelligence, to pass on this high-tech technologies into their future automobile models, and to pass this high-tech technologies in other walks of daily life. So the question raises that how this will impact the whole fashion industry. But some of the critical arguments have already made by the critics of this artificial intelligence, like what will be the consequences, like if artificial intelligence factor in a nuclear reactor or in a transport system like London. According to the facts and figures of TfL, 1.305 billion people travel every year. But what will be the consequences if the artificial intelligence factor fails in a London transport system? The consequences will be more worse than we can ever think. So the question raises that how it will impact the whole fashion industry. Now I am going to talk about some, as we all are familiar with the HR, human resources, like it's one of the most important part of an organization. So like in an organization, HR needs HR managers, HR teams to organize full HR team, full workforce of the organization. But using artificial intelligence, we can just do all the things by sitting on one computer, like one computer which can advise this company's manager to aggregate jobs, employees, to maintain hire and fire formula more effectively as compared to the human intelligence, which is incredible. Like if we can do each and everything by just sitting on one computer, then we don't need any HR department, we don't need any HR people to organize the departments and to organize the charts of the company and to organize the whole HR sector, which will ultimately raises the question to the people who are studying HR and they want to gain some specialization in HR. So we don't need any HR people, just we need a software which can do more efficient work as compared to the human intelligence. So the second threat is WGSN in-stock. In-stock is a software which can advise buyers, retailers, and to maintain the supply chain formula more efficient as compared to the human intelligence. Like they can predict they can help the whole company's manager, like they can help the directors about the future perspectives of the company, like how much investment they should make, which type of products they made. Like they already have an analysis of 12,000 brands in the market. Like they can just like if someone wants to check the more market trend and the customer's choices, they just want to get sit on a computer, just put their requirements, and they can get everything what they want. So the third choice, the third thread will be TMID, technological immediate color scheme. Ultimately, like every fashion brand needs a designer team, like a creative team, to organize their products, like to produce and to produce their products more efficiently, but which will take some 21 days approx, as compared, which is the facts and figures from the British Fashion Council. But with the help of TMID, we can just all that cycle, all that process in just 1 minute. So 1 minute or 21 days question. Thank you.
Thank you, Joshal. My name is Mohit, and now I'm going to be speaking about Burberry's innovation strategy in context of the 4 P's of innovation. The 4 P's of innovation are product innovation, process innovation, position innovation, and paradigm innovation. But the only first 2 ones, which are the product and the process innovation, apply to Burberry as a brand. Talking about product innovation, Burberry offers certain products to its customers, like the clothing products, scarves, trench coats, and children wear and women wear. And what Burberry does with their product innovation is an incremental type of innovation where every year and every season they're bringing in new upgrades to their previous products, like bringing in new colors, new designs, and certain type of different designs to the product. For example, using the feather design for the Burberry products, like the scarves, just instead of the check marks. And the process innovation is how do they take care of the process from beginning from manufacturing the product to the end, which reaches the customer. And that type of innovation used by Burberry is radical innovation, because the manufacturing process keeps changing every once in a while. And I think in this way, when we spoke to Ms. Jen, who's the deputy manager of the Burberry store, the flagship store at Regent Street, she told us that every now and then they have been making changes to the manufacturing processes and the supply chain processes, where they're bringing in new ways of supplying the product to the customer and to the stores, which has not been done by other companies out there. So in this way, I believe that process innovation is the radical one used by Burberry, which makes the process more effective, more efficient, and decreases the cost of the products as well. Now I'm been talking about the first mover or the second mover. First mover, basically first mover is again the thing which Burberry gives main priority to, what are they known for. And second mover comes as something which they later on implement in their business model or their business plan. And first mover is, the 121 Regent Street store, the Burberry store, the flagship store, is the most technologically advanced store in the world, which is running across all the brands, comparing against all the brands. Burberry, the first store to open the most technologically advanced store in the world, opening on the Regent Street. And it has different type of technologies, like the massive screen when you enter the store, and the magic mirrors and the Google photo booth, which show how Burberry is advanced in technology in that particular store. And now they will plan to open more flagship stores around the world in different continents and different countries. More personalization and recognition to welcoming customers. We all know that Burberry has this application for their customers, which where they can actually sign up and register to Burberry, and at the same time they can order the trench coat with a personalized name tag on the back of the trench coat, which has the initials of the name. And we were just thinking if personalization could be increased by, for example, if the person wears a trench coat and enters the store, some sort of scanner right close to the entrance of the store can scan the trench coat, where we all know that trench coat has the particular chip which gives the details about the customer. And imagining out of the box, thinking about this, when the person enters the store and his chip gets processed and scanned in the scanner, a big screen can be saying their name and welcoming them to the store, which is a different out of the box thinking, which we think Burberry can be doing. The second mover is opening of an in-store Thomas Cafe. Now, if you go to stores around the High Street, for example, Oxford Street or Bond Street, there are many stores out there which have cafes in there. But to be noted, the point is that those cafes or restaurants inside the stores do not belong to the brand. They are in collaboration, open with the brand in order to, equal out the business where people can shop and eat at the same time. But Thomas Cafe is named after the one who founded Burberry. The name Thomas comes from there. And they themselves invented this cafe called Thomas Cafe, which is an in-store cafe at the Burberry Regent Street store, which they can be using as a second mover and can be rewarding systems to shoppers where they can come in and have a tea or have their meal coming in Thomas Cafe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohit. My name is Patrick and I'm going to talk about the building of the culture right now. In order for Burberry to stay successful and competitive in the future, they have to focus on building their culture right now. Building the team feeling and enhancing employees and customer experience is one of their main goals right now. Increasing employee engagement by connecting teams through technology. For example, every staff member at the stores has an iPad and is connected to the other staff members and can work with them. Burberry also wants to reward and nurture talent. Also, social and environmental responsibilities of great importance to Burberry. Employees have training from day one, and Burberry is adopting a philosophy that a happy team makes a happy customer. The innovation takes place at the customer experience at the moment. They just launched a Christmas campaign which includes a photo booth in cooperation with Google. Through this project, everyone can be part of the campaign, also featuring stars like Billy Elliot. The photo booth is a lot of fun and definitely enhances the customer experience. A second innovation that increases the customer experience are the magic mirrors. The magic mirrors can recognize a chosen product by a chip and show, for example, how a trench coat will look like if it is worn. Now I'm going to talk about Burberry's innovation, radical versus incremental. Like I've just mentioned, the photo booth for the Christmas campaign is very unique. Burberry is the first company to launch a project like this. You can choose any kind of their famous scarves and record a short video which will later be displayed in their Christmas campaign. Furthermore, Burberry was the first to introduce microchips in their famous trench coats to personalize it more, as well as making the chip a digital receipt for the customer. For example, if your coat gets stolen, you can easily prove that it belongs to you. Another radical innovation for Burberry was the first ever holographic fashion show in their flagship store in Beijing. Projecting an entire fashion show and using all possible technical features to enhance the experience made this an outstanding event with tremendous success. The fashion show was displayed in 200 websites and 50 Burberry stores all around the world. Burberry really advanced in the last couple of years through the use of technology, and this is especially shown in their flagship store on Regent Street in London, which is the world's most technology advanced store. For example, there are screens everywhere in the store, showing a lot of different clips associated with Burberry, for example the Christmas campaign, or the manufacturing in Scotland or England, as well as the photo booth and the magic mirrors. These mirrors, like I've mentioned earlier, can show how a trench coat will look like. The magic mirrors also have a lot of room for innovation, for example by becoming more personalized for the customer and showing him or herself wearing different styles and colors and making the decision for the customer a lot easier. And then Burberry is also incrementally innovating, for example through the photo booth feature. In order for you to receive the clip, you have to give your email address and they'll send you the clip. This way, Burberry connects with a lot more customers and is able to crowdsource a lot easier. Furthermore, every staff member has an iPad which connects them to all other team members through platforms where they can share their ideas for innovation, improvement for the company, or discuss problems and find solutions through teamwork. Also, employees can check stock availability a lot faster and handle customer complaints and inquiries a lot easier. Thank you.
Currently, Burberry is very active with social media. Their Facebook page has over 17 million followers, while their other pages such as Instagram, Twitter, and Google Plus have about 5 million followers each. In Burberry's quest to remain as the top luxury brand, every season they hold a campaign. These campaigns have been broadcasted over social media with famous hashtags like London Fashion Week and have allowed them to be more innovative. Burberry's current Christmas campaign has spread all over social media. It features different celebrities jumping up in the air wearing their signature trench coat or scarf. One way they have been more innovative is by putting RFID chips into their clothing. This personalizes the item to each customer and gets rid of mainstream's use of receipts to return items. The RFID chips also interact with Burberry's in-store magic mirrors. Once a fashion item passes the mirrors, it is digitally displayed for customers to see. Another way Burberry has been innovative is in their partnership with Google. This has allowed them to create a unique application for mobile devices. Burberry's goal in stores has been to create a culture and personal relationship with their employees and customers. However, Burberry needs to know that in their quest to go digital across their social media and mobile platforms, they have an opportunity to use artificial intelligence. AI will help them efficiently respond to the demands of their millions of followers online.
Thanks, Kate. My name is Amar. I will talk Burberry's engagement and membership networks. Burberry has a membership network with Google, which helps to set up photo booth in Burberry stores, so which personalize customer videos. So when we visited their shop in Regent Street, the flagship store, we practically went to the photo booth and we personalized our photos. So this is a huge experience, and I haven't seen any store in London, fashion shop that does this. So this is a really new innovation idea. Burberry bring it to their own store for their customer satisfaction. And Burberry also have their membership link with Google Art, which helps their customer who visited their shop to create a virtual kiss to send their loved one anywhere in the world. So from the London store, they can send in Beijing store or in Tokyo store or in New York store or somewhere living anywhere. So they can send a virtual kisses message to their loved one in anywhere in the world. And Burberry also have a huge network with the museums, which helps to create the holographic fashion show in Beijing. So for this innovative ideas of this system, this network can help Burberry to participate anywhere in the world in the holographic fashion show. This is a huge innovation idea that bring it to the store. And how should Burberry be organized and search for innovation? Burberry can create a cross-departmental team which help to personalize customer demand. For example, if a customer wanted to personalize their Burberry products, so they can bring a person from their designer department, they can bring another person from their specialist for their outfit specialist, another person from their manufacturing team. So that team, they can help to personalize customer necessary. So that team can help to deliver the best customer service. This is the way they need to move forward. And open customer staff members for their ideas. This is another thing they can do. They can create a platform where the staff member and customer can share their idea. Is like a crowdsourcing innovation. This is now the most successful innovation, which they get idea from various people, which can relate to the crowdsourcing innovation. And high diversity can bring loads of innovation idea to the company. So the Burberry as a company is high diversity. So that company can create very innovative idea from the different parts of the world, from the membership or from the customer feedbacks. And looking outside from the company for the innovation, the company can look outside from the company to get the innovation. So this is, we can suggest that company can look and company can consider for their future innovation. Thank you.
Thanks, Arman. My name is Ifi. I'm going to be speaking on the evaluation of innovation strategy. For now, we don't plan to replace our human resources with artificial intelligence. This was said by the deputy manager of the flagship store at Regent Street. One of Burberry's greatest assets are their staff members and their human resources. This is also seen in the work by Christopher Bailey. He is the chief designer. So Burberry plans on, for now, speaking with their staff members because they get ideas from them, and also Christopher Bailey is one of the greatest assets to the company, and he has said it over time that he relies on digital advertising, digital marketing, and all of that for Burberry. High diversity and increased communication to overcome AI threats. Burberry is highly diversified and they use this as a means of communication. Burberry does their whole communication away from China, India, different parts of the world, and also their staff members are from different continents, and this has indeed helped Burberry in their plan. This is a temporary, for now, this is a temporary solution, but in the future demands more use of AI. Sure, for now this is working for Burberry, but as time goes on, in the nearest future, the need for artificial intelligence is going to come through, and we hope that Burberry would indeed work with this and make use of it. Innovation strategies for Burberry to follow. Well, we have said, for now, Burberry is planning to make the temporary customers loyal customers for tomorrow. How do we do this? How do we achieve this? Burberry can do a collaboration with a private taxi company like Uber for a return trip or the next receipt to be used within the year. So if a customer comes into the Burberry store, makes the purchase, Burberry can say on your next trip or on your next coming to the store, you are entitled to a free trip to the store, a free ride, all expense paid by Burberry. Secondly, earning Uber credit with every Burberry purchase. So Burberry can partner with a taxi group, a taxi company, not necessarily Uber, but it could be. So for every purchase you make, you get taxi credits and it accumulates for you. Secondly, Burberry can have a reward system. So after every purchase, with their second move at Thomas Cafe. So this reward system, Thomas Cafe is the Burberry, like a cafe in the shop. So for every customer that comes, Burberry can have like a reward system. You earn credits or you earn something. You could get a cup of tea, a cup of frappuccino in the Thomas Cafe free for every purchase you make. Also, Burberry can do the tickets to the fashion show. It could be for the first buyer, it could be for loyal customers who have always patronized Burberry over time. So you could get a ticket, a free ticket, or to the Burberry fashion show. Thank you.
Hi, it's me Mohit again, and I'm out here to conclude the presentation and bring it to a closing end. Me and my group members have been speaking about the different strategies and different factors Burberry has been considering for the innovation process. We as a team believe that the current strategy, which Burberry has been following as a business model, is really good for the time being, but not for the long run. And I believe that Burberry can bring in certain changes, and massive factors which can affect the change in Burberry can be, not for now, but later in the 15-20 years, which again, where the topic begins, is artificial intelligence. As Jen, the deputy manager of the store, said, right now they don't plan to replace the human resources by artificial intelligence, but we believe that later on, with the speed right now, the fashion industry has been rising, which is such a high speed. I believe that fashion industry has been creating a massive impact on people. The trends have been changing every single moment, every single second. New fashion shows coming in, changing the perspective of people, and this really matters to what the company is doing. And the first thing I would like to say, along with the team, is that Burberry should stop considering what their competitors are doing in the market. They right now do not worry about what the competitors are doing and are busy enhancing the product they're making and selling it to the customers. But considering the factors that what their competitors are doing can be one major positive effect which the Burberry as a brand can be having on itself. And one more thing would be, right now, as I mentioned, Burberry is not using much of artificial intelligence. I think later on, certain other brands like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, which are the main competitors and are luxurious and prestigious brands, will definitely give them a tough fight and a better edge to Burberry, which they need to make sure they too stay in the fight and bring in artificial intelligence as one of the major factors, as a driving force for the company to take it ahead. For example, bringing in robots at the shop floor and certain other things. For example, enhancing the Google relationships and bringing in more things, as Google is a technological company and they can definitely work together and bring in more certain factors which can affect Burberry in a positive way. And yes, this is what we would like to conclude Burberry as is. This is our visit to the flagship store, and it has been a great time working with the team and for the presentation. And we'd like to thank every one of you. Thank you.